This is my review for LEGO set 76317, Peter Parker's Apartment. This set has 394 pieces and it released on August 1st for $55. Yeah, $55 for 300 pieces. Not the best, but let's go ahead and break this price down. Now here we have the apartment. I think this designer did a fantastic job on this set and all the other mini modulars. I prefer the big ones we have up here. But you know, hey, we weren't getting a big one this year, so I'm happy we got some little ones. I went ahead and started a little city, which this is now in. I will make a future video on that if you guys are interested. But on the outside, it comes with this little spider, which I just set on the outside real quick. And then it has a couple spots for webs, and it has more studs, which you can go ahead and take this big web piece and just stick it in. You can close the figure up in there. It also has an air conditioning unit, a couple plants, another air conditioning unit, a door with like a little overhang, and then a sign that says 410, which is Peter Parker's apartment number from the comics. So that's a nice detail. And you can see there's these two studs right there, and those do kind of look out of place. That's because on the top right here, there's this little grate, and if you grab it, you can actually go ahead and put it right here and have it like a balcony in case you want to put it on top of the bodega, which is over there. So I think that's a cool detail that they added. Makes it work so much more for that set. But going ahead and turning it around, here we have the inside. Now the top floor is Peter Parker's apartment, and at the bottom we have like a kitchen, like a bedroom, kitchen. You can go ahead and take these off, and starting by looking at the bottom, you can see we have a kitchen right there, like a dining room. There's also these spots that you can pose Spider-Man upside down if you want him to kiss Mary Jane, which is one of the minifigures that comes in this, so we will talk about that later. Right here, there's this little sink, which I think is cool representation. Maybe they could have added a different piece to make it look like the sink actually goes in. There's a couple drawers which you can't access because of the chairs and table right here. Speaking of, there's two chairs and a table, of course, with a couple empty glasses on it. There's a frying pan, pizza box, and spatula. Overall, pretty basic kitchen. Way better than the interior of the Oscorp Tower. If you've seen my review on that, you know what I think about that. But yeah, this went really fast. There's not really much in here. There's a door handle on this side, but there's not on this side, which makes no sense to me. But getting into the top floor right here, we have Peter Parker's room. Now the first detail over here is all these different walls, which has like a science fair, #1 prize, picture of Oscorp, and then him holding a trophy. And there's a camera on his desk. There's a little TV that says Venom spotted, but that's actually AntiVenom, which they paint him as a villain in all these sets. But he's actually a good guy. So I don't know if you've read the comics or seen, I don't know if he's in Ultimate Spider-Man. I think he is. But you know he's a good guy. And if you flip the bed up, there's the plans for an Iron Spider suit, so that's a really cool inclusion. And then right here, we have a little swivel chair that can spin around. And then over here, we have a microscope on top of this bin, which is just there to fill room. I went ahead and put the stuff that connects these to other sets in there, the Technic pins. But yeah, overall pretty simple. And over on the side here, here's one of my favorite parts of this set. J. Jonah Jameson Daily Bugle poster, and Peter Parker webbed him up and said blah blah. And that's actually a homage to the first ever Spider-Man comic book. On the back of the set right here, there's this little lever, and you can go ahead and take it and just give it a push, and this actually flies off, and it's like you threw a pumpkin bomb and blew up his apartment. And it gives you some fire pieces, 2 pieces that you can just like set down on there, any spot you want to make it look like the building's on fire. I think that's pretty cool. There's this little Technic axle pin that just holds it in place right there. And this is an amazing play feature. I would not have thought of this, and I just think it's so cool. And it shoots out pretty powerful. Like you can see the table is shaking whenever I do that. It's a pretty big piece that's just flying off. Right here we have Hobgoblin's glider. I love the design of this glider. I think it's so simple and it looks great with that sticker piece there. I think it's much better than the original version. If you want to see a comparison, just let me know. But there's 2 studs right here. Hobgoblin fits right on. And I love this figure. We'll talk about him a little later. But there's these 2 studs on the side, which you can go ahead and take a pumpkin bomb and just put it right on. And then the wings move around all you want. There's very good posability. And then the fire piece on the back moves. And overall, I just think this glider is amazing and a great side build. Here we have a little spider buggy thing. I'm not a big fan of this. I don't know why they would include it. It's a little fun build to have. Not really much to say. It has 8 legs, a sticker right there on the front, and this little lever. You can go ahead, sit a minifigure in there, and have them like controlling it, even though they can't reach the actual control. I don't know why they included it. They should have added something else. I don't know what they could have added. Maybe another minifigure. I don't really know, but just it could have been better. Here we have the best figure in this set, and one that I'm glad they're remaking because the old one could use some improvements. I don't know which one I like better. The old one's cool. This one's cool. This one should have had dual molded legs like the old one, but I'm glad this one has printing. And then like I like the hood piece on the other, but I like the face piece on this one better. I don't know. It's a pretty good minifigure though. I'm so happy for everybody who doesn't have it. I love his glider. And going ahead and talking about his pumpkin bombs. Oh, the whole reason I'm talking about them just happened. The hair can actually come off of this pumpkin bomb. I like the face print of the pumpkin bomb. If you go ahead, you can pull the hair off, which you can use for a Ghost Rider custom or whatever you want. I think that's pretty cool that they're finally doing this. Hobgoblin has another face. He has this laughing face. And if you turn it around, he has this more angry face. And then on his back, he has a satchel. And I like the new rubber cape in this. I don't like him for posing that much, but I like him in this use. I think it looks good with his glider. I do have my other Hobgoblin up there on my Daily Bugle. Here, let me go ahead and take you up there real quick. I have him right here being tied up by a web. You can see I like the hood piece on this one better. He has dual molded legs. And that cape is just so perfect. I wish they continued that. But yeah, I just wanted to show that off real quick. I think this one looks better in some parts. I'll do a comparison. I'm thinking at the end of the year of doing a comparison of all the new figures that came out this year and comparing them to their old versions, but let me know if you're interested in that. Here we have Spider-Man. We have a million of these. I think I just counted the other day and I have 11. It's time for a new Spider-Man figure. I think the figure itself is perfect though. There's not much I would change. Maybe just have dual molded legs come with them all. But other than that, no complaints. It's cool that they have this new Peter Parker head. Well, I say new, but this head has been around forever. But I'm glad that they gave us a head to change. And if you turn it around, you can see he has a scared face too. Overall, pretty basic minifigure. I love it though. Keep it coming. Or you could change it up. I don't really care. Here we have Mary Jane Watson. I think it's great that they're finally including her in another set. I'm pretty sure the last time she was in that set was that Green Goblin Ultimate Spider-Man set that came out forever ago. I wish I had that minifigure. I think it's much better than this one. But I do like the red hair on this figure. The face print, I think it works for her. Torso and legs, I mean, it's generic. All this can be found in other stuff. This is not unique. Just the figure's unique to the set, but the parts aren't unique. She has another smiley face. You probably have this in your collection. But overall, great figure. I'm glad they're including her, but, you know, could be better. Here we have AntiVenom. This figure being in this kind of makes me mad because I bought that set in January just for this figure, so I could have saved $15 if I knew they were coming out with this. But obviously, I'm glad they're reusing him for people who didn't want to spend $15 on just this figure alone because nobody cared about a third Spider-Man mech. I like this figure though. I think it works great. Maybe they could have had leg printing just to make this one slightly different than the other one. I'm not sure. I love AntiVenom. He's one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time. I think he's so cool. I got white football cleats just because it kind of looked like him and I just thought it was so sick. Overall, great figure. I love the face print, especially on this. It just looks so amazing and I'm so happy that we have him in another set. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think of this set.